The DNC is getting ready to rob the progressive wing again, but this time the wing has a new coup fund.
As I was president of Leaders We Deserve in the years prior to this, where we worked in primaries to help elect young Democrats to state legislatures and Congress. And I want to clear one thing up. This is not an issue that we're taking with age in particular. Look, there are ineffective older people and ineffective younger people across our party. What we're trying to do here is not just focus on primaries where there's potentially an older incumbent, but more than anything, an ineffective person in that position, and replace them with a generational leader.
Hogg and millennials hate the old guard like Carville, and let's just say the feeling's mutual.
Why don't somebody sue David Hogg? He's an officer of the Democratic National Committee. He is the vice chairman of the Democratic National Committee, and he's running against other Democrats. He's being paid to run against other Democrats. I think it's an outrage. I don't know if I have standing, but I might give the DNC $10 and sue him. He's a contemptible little twerp.
Great to have you with us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Here at the Chris Highland Show, really appreciate everybody rolling up. This is absolutely, I think, the best story running. We got a bunch of bad stories. We're going to be covering some things that will absolutely make your blood boil, as we've got the Supreme Court with an egregious decision, which may not be so egregious when you listen to some legal experts, but we're going to get into that. But we have got to get into the Dem Civil War, which just absolutely has me rolling with laughter. I can't believe they actually elected this buffoon to vice DNC chair. I mean, the kid's like 24 years old. He's proven he doesn't have a brain in his head, but because he was a Parkland survivor and because he came out against guns, let's ban all weapons, then he's the darling of the left. And now he is the darling of the ultra progressive left. He is all in with the AOCs and the Bernies and the Ilhan Omars, the socialist Islamofascists of the world. He's their poster kid. And here we go with Dem Civil War. It is raging. It is getting worse. They are having absolute meltdowns on talk shows. And then you've got Reince Priebus, who just owns it. So we're going to get into all that. Then we're going to get into some of the more solemn, somber, infuriating news of the day. But I really want to thank everybody for rolling up. Thank you so much for joining me here. So let's get into this. This is absolutely fantastic. So before we do, please smash that like button, subscribe to the new channel at The Chris Highland Show. Share this if you like this content. Please share it with everybody that you know. Turn on the notifications. Leave us some love in the comments. Really appreciate everybody in here. Let's dive right in. So the first clip we got. So on This Week with David Brinkley, one of the weekend shows, as you know, I used to call it Meet the Depressed, one of the other weekend shows. But anyway, so we've got, this used to be with David Brinkley. Now it's something totally different. But anyway, it's ABC News, and they've got David Hogg on there with Donna Brazile. But let's just watch the fireworks happen. This is absolutely hilarious stuff. Here we go.
Trust in all of our institutions, the media, business, whole civil society. We're in a crisis. I don't know if we want to call it a constitutional crisis, but we're in as former President Biden was here, an inflection point. Look, I think what David is trying to do is to not just help to re-energize the party, but to help rebrand the Democratic Party. The concern that officers of the DNC right now, they have signed the neutrality pledge. David did not sign the neutrality pledge. So he's in hot water with Ken. I told him he threw a rock in the water, and him and the two of them and the officers, they got to get out of the hot water. But that's not my position right now. My position is many of these so-called safe blue seats, and I can get in trouble. Many of them are seats that women and minorities finally had an opportunity to come and sit in because there were no seats at the table for us. So before you start wiping clean the menu and the plates and the seats, be very careful because many of those seats are in
as a
districts where we
former
are.
Party chairman, Durance, how would you handle a vice chair who was going to primary?
Well, I'll answer and then I'll explain it. I mean, unfortunately, David, I'd have you removed from the party.
They're
I mean, this is just great stuff. So you got David Hogg, who has said, we've covered this on previous videos, please go watch them, that he is going to spend at least $20 million from another PAC, another committee that he sits on, to primary existing elitist establishment Dems. And you've got now, so now he's already split the party that way, or splitting the party. So he's got the, who's he going to primary? So he is further bifurcating the party in between the ultra left progressive, because that's where he sits, He wants ultra-left progressives in these seats versus the establishment. But some of these establishment people that are going to have to give way if Hogg has his way, if he gets his wish, some of the people that are going to have to give way in the establishment are women and minorities. So now he's essentially trifurcated, if that's even a word, the Democrat Party. He's got the establishment now versus the progressive, ultra progressive wing. But now he's got Donna Brazile carving out the women and minorities, whether they're establishment or not, saying, leave us alone. So you've really got three factions now at play. This is absolutely hilarious to watch. It's a complete crap show. Now, I was saying that he's going to spend $20 million that he raised in another committee. And that's what Reince Priebus was talking about. He's essentially double dipping. He is the vice DNC chair. He's also the chair of another committee that has raised a bunch of money. And he wants to take that money, that $20 million, and spend it against the members of his own party. You can't make this stuff up. And all the while, they are shoving the Democrat Party further and further and further to the extreme, ultra extreme left. Now, anybody who doubts that the Democrat Party, they are left of left. The Democrat Party of the Kennedys, the Democrat Party of the Eisenhowers, that's gone. That party is unrecognizable to these people. And vice versa, this party would be unrecognizable to the JFKs of the world. They would look at this and go, what are these people talking about? The fact that they are so in with the globalists, with the military-industrial complex, with the anti-American crowd, with the extreme left transgender ideology crowd would make this party an anathema to someone like JFK. And so you've got the party has already gone super far left. Hence, look at the Newsoms, look at the Hillary Clintons of the world. But even that group is still not as far left as AOC and Bernie Sanders, who are full-on communists. They're full-on socialists. That's who they are. They want to completely gut and destroy America, rip it down by its foundations, and hand it over to a globalist aristocracy, to the Green New Deal tyranny, to the transgender LGBTQIA++++ tyranny, to all of the tyrannies of the world that they can think of, to the intersectionality victim Olympics tyranny. They want to destroy it in favor of something new that they have no vision for, other than they want to go to some measure of communist CCP in China, a combination of old Soviet communism and the new CCP communism, and in there allow for everything under the sun like LGBTQIA, which the CCP doesn't allow for. So that's where we sit with this nonsense. And it's absolutely hilarious. I love this. I mean, the fact that they are going to gut and destroy their own party ahead of the midterms is beautiful. Keep going. I say root them on. Go, 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 David Hogg. You have at it. You and AOC and Bernie Sanders, just have your day. Let's go run all the big rallies that you can run. Let's pay all of the shill protesters, all of the liberal white women and or liberal retired people that you get out to protest that look like a bunch of essentially retired trans people. Let's keep doing that. Because the American people are not buying it. The American people see through this. They don't want any part of a party that is led by AOC. And that's the latest poll. AOC is within striking distance in terms of who is the next leader of the party. Who do you want to be, the nominee in 28? AOC is within single-digit striking distance of Kamala Harris. And you've already got Democrats saying that Kamala Harris was the worst thing that ever happened to the Democrat Party, that she single-handedly destroyed it. So this is absolutely beautiful. Now, I want to get into this next one because Reince Priebus and David Hogg get in on it. And I love what Reince had to say because he pushes back on Hogg's ridiculous leftist complete disinformation campaign that the rest of the Democrat Party, the one message that they are completely on rudderless. They have no message except for one message. And that is, let's bring all the criminal illegals back. We fight for them, not for you. Here we go.
Be very careful because many of those seats are in
as a
former
party chairman, Reince, how would you handle a vice chair who was going to primary?
Well, I'll answer and then I'll explain it. I mean, unfortunately, David, I'd have you removed from the party because I think, number one, I think you're sincere. I don't question that. I think you're right. The Democrats are a complete mess. They have no movement.
I don't think that's exactly what he said.
They've
but,
got no. Well, he said they've got no message. They've got no movement. They've got no leader. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, you're defending Harvard. You're traveling to El Salvador for MS-13 gang members. But here's the point.
Alleged.
You're taking $20 million. If I'm looking at someone, my vice chair of the RNC, taking $20 million for another effort, it's $20 million out of the DNC's pocket. You can't be on the board of the Fishing and Forest Company and on Greenpeace at the same time. There are places for groups to hold the party accountable. I think it's right.
Yeah,
let me push back against that.
ahead.
This was not an MS-13 gang member, and you damn well know that.
Oh, come on.
He was not.
Okay,
and
so
Please keep saying that nonsense.
And the
defending this
administration,
guy.
the
You're just
administration
digging
admitted
your
this
own
was wrong.
hole.
In America, we have
and
due
he's got a
process, and we
tattoo
are a
on his
land of
hand.
law
He's
and
illegally.
order. We are a land of law and order. And this administration is repeatedly showing time and time again they do not. The Supreme Court says they do not care about the rule of law, and you cannot defend sending people to another country.
Just did a poll
to another country where they don't have
Americans
rights,
think that
where he's being
all
denied counsel,
illegal immigrants
due process,
should be
and so
deported,
much more.
by the way.
Please, David Hogg, please keep going down this road. Grab AOC, grab Bernie Sanders, two profoundly unpopular people with anybody who's mainstream, and let's go argue for illegal criminals in this country. Meanwhile, Trump will stand with Rachel Marin, well, now Patty Marin, Rachel's mother, the parents of Lake and Riley, the parents of Jocelyn Nungare. He will put them all over TV, as he has done over the last several days, and say, this is the contrast. I mean, David Hogg, to say he's absolutely not an MS-13 gang member, and you damn well know it, is completely and utterly false. Everybody knows he's a gang member. Remember, Kilmar Abrego Garcia stood in front of 2 immigration judges and had 2 adjudicated hearings. And both of those immigration judges said he's a gang member, and they issued deportation orders, must deport. His gang membership has been corroborated by the tattoos that he wears. It has been corroborated by the fact that he was arrested with 2 other MS-13 gang members. When he was picked up, he had rolls of cash and drugs on his person. Salvadorian intelligence has confirmed he is an MS-13 gang member. He's an MS-13 gang member 3 ways from Sunday. It's just ridiculous. But if they want to keep going down this road, the American people see through this nonsense. They don't want Kilmar Abrego Garcia here. Add to that, the party of protecting women. Kilmar Abrego Garcia had 2 protective orders issued against him by his current wife for domestic violence. I mean, the fact that this is going this direction is going to be very, very bad for the Democrats, because the American people want these people gone. Reince Priebus is absolutely right. Harry Enton had it on CNN. We covered this in a previous video. 56% of all Americans surveyed want every single illegal alien deported, not just the criminals, not just the MS-13 gang members. Yes, let's start there. They want them all gone. And so you are not going to get any support from the American people on this nonsense. And no, the 9-0 Supreme Court decision did not say to repatriate Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They said that they cannot dictate the foreign policy of the executive branch, the Article 2 executive branch, but that it must facilitate his return. In other words, put up no barriers against. The Trump administration said, sure, if El Salvador wants to send him back. They were in a news conference in the Oval Office. And loser Caitlin Collins said to Bukele, the president of El Salvador, hey, are you gonna send him back? He's like, no. What am I supposed to do? Smuggle him into the country? And I'm not going to release him in my country. He's a terrorist and he's a gangbanger and he's going to stay in prison. So this is not going to go well for the Dems, because they are not on the right side of history on this one. They are again siding with the 20%. And even former Speaker McCarthy has that understanding. Check this out.
Is here now. Mr. Speaker, it's great to see you tonight. Let's start with, if we could, the mechanics of politics, sort of the behind-the-scenes stuff. Pretty unprecedented, is it not, for a DNC vice chair to talk about putting money towards primarying Democrats?
Unheard of. The DNC is supposed to unite the party, but what we're watching live is a civil war inside the Democratic Party, and they're fighting for new leadership, and this is what's going to happen.
And isn't it juicy? I love that term. I love the term civil war inside the Democrat Party. I mean, it just makes my heart glad.
Remember, AOC did this exact same thing a couple years ago, and the party tried to shut her down when she would primary other members in Congress. But she raised the most money of any member in Congress in the last quarter. She's getting the biggest crowds. And this is what I predict. They're going to fight to see who becomes leader of this party. Right now, it's really AOC and Bernie Sanders. But this is what's going to happen. They're going to run against Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, and Hakeem. That will be a motivating factor. They will raise more money running against Democrats than they will running against Republicans. And whoever comes out of that will become the leader of the Democratic Party. And if they go so far, remember, AOC and Bernie Sanders are socialists. They literally registered as socialists. AOC came into the party campaigning for Bernie Sanders. This is so far how far this party has moved, and it shows. They are more at home going to a Latin American country than fighting for a hardworking American.
Yeah, if that side, if that wing of Democrats raises the most money, wins the most primaries, you would have to believe, if you still believe in America, I honestly say this, if you still believe in America, that is a recipe for failure for them on the national stage in a general election.
By far, but there's something Republicans have to understand too. Then there's about 1/3 of Democrats who's been beginning to question their own party that you can be reaching out to. And this is where President Trump is so good, where he's able to move and work. Ronald Reagan did this in Michigan. But if you look at what Donald Trump was able to do that last election, every single swing state, not one, every single swing state he has won. The party needs to be able to move that same way and be opening and welcoming to new people. Remember.
Exactly. The party needs to absolutely, because right now, when Trump runs, the party wins. When Trump doesn't, the party loses, because the party, although Trump is remaking the Republican Party in his vision of the new GOP coalition, the Republican Party needs to embrace that as well, so that in the midterms, they can go gather all of those union, disaffected, middle class, working class Americans who want nothing to do with illegals, nothing to do with criminals, nothing to do with socialists like AOC, who they are a third of the party what may well defect if the Republicans give them some place to go. And we can do that without watering down our own values, without watering down our own America First MAGA principles. Trump, and if he can get the Republican Party, the Republican New Guard establishment on board, they can absolutely decimate the Democrats for years and years and years to come. So let's hope they make it happen. Hey, thanks everybody for rolling up. Please smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications. If you like the content, please share this with everybody that you know. Help us grow the channel. You guys are amazing. If you'd like to support us, you can do so as a member on YouTube. Now that we are monetized, run out, you can join us on Patreon as well. Thanks so much for being here.